This is another live stream for a match reaction between Crystal Palace and Manchester United, which took place yesterday as of this live stream. So I'm going to be talking about the game, obviously, and then if you have any questions, you can ask those, and I'll do my best to answer them if I can. Or if you have any suggestions, and if you have any ideas or any topics you think are relating to the game that you think you want to talk about, then let me know, and I will discuss them with everybody else. First of all, I'm going to be quickly going through the formation and the team itself, because a lot of people have been talking about the formation and about certain players not being in it, and I think that he kind of answered those questions in some respects. We had Gaeta in the back, of course. We had Klein, we had Richards in for Anderson, who of course has got that long-term calf injury. We had Gahey and Mitchell. We then had Doucouré and Hughes in the middle, and it was great to see Hughes, great to see Richards starting. It was great to see Hughes starting in the middle. I thought that was a really good thing. You then had Elise, Edouard, and Zaha just in front of them, and then you had Mateta just in front of them. Now, it was kind of like a 4-4-2, but it wasn't quite like a 4-4-2. It was actually a very similar formation to what Manchester United had. So, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was great to have that mixture of Doucouré and Hughes in the middle. I thought it was great to see Chris Richards start start the game in the centre back position, and I thought it was really good to have Mateta and Edouard in the same team. I thought that would work quite well. And of course, you've got Elise and Zaha on the wings to do their magic as they normally do. I thought that as the game started, I thought we started off not too bad. I thought we had a fairly good start to the game. I thought that we were playing okay. I thought that we had some good passing of the ball early on, and it seemed though, from my situation anyway. I mean, you can disagree if you want. It seemed to me that we played a lot better in terms of having that particular formation. I thought that we passed the ball a lot better. I felt that we were more compact and also more resilient in the middle. It was great to see the players, passing the ball quite well. I mean, there were a few missed passes going on in there, but generally, I thought that we were a lot more solid in the middle because we had that. We had those two in the middle with Doucouré and Hughes, who I thought really worked really well together. It was great to see Hughes playing. I thought he was fantastic, and you also had a little bit of protection there for the back four. Now, I was a little bit concerned about Chris Richards, not because I thought he wasn't any good, but because Manchester United are a big team. It's a big game to come in on. I think he played absolutely fantastic. He was I think on a par with man of the match for me. With him and Hughes, I think we're both man of the match in my book. They were working really well together. They were playing well together, and I think it was just a very good first half. I think first half I think we worked really hard. I think we were playing really well. Obviously, I think we were defending quite well up until the goal went in. Well, goal went in on 44 minutes, and that was, of course, it was Doucouré's fault in some ways because I think he switched off or he just didn't see the ball, and he allowed Bruno Fernandes to come in on goal and score. I'm not going to have a go at Doucouré though because I think he's a very good player. He's been fantastic for us this season, and I think that in general I think he's been really good. So I'm not going to have a go at him for that. I think it was a mistake, and that is basically it. But when that goal went in on 44 minutes, firstly I thought not just before half time, that's just fantastically bad, and secondly I thought, are we going to get back into this game? Because we were making chances. I mean, Edouard had a fantastic little clip over into the came in, clipped over the top, and De Gea had to get a great hand to it to tip it away. That was a fantastic, fantastic opportunity and chance at goal. I thought that really worked well. And there was a couple of other chances. Another a great save by De Gea that kept another one of our goals out. So, we had our chances, and I think that we were playing a lot better as a team in that formation with those players in it. Of course, obviously the goal was a mistake, and that was something. But I wasn't entirely sure whether we would be able to create enough to get back in the game from 1-0 down. Second half we came out. I thought we played really well. Again, I thought we were pressing hard. We kept Marcus Rashford out of the game pretty much. I mean, he had a couple of fleeting, runs around, but he didn't really create that much in the whole game. And that, I think that's to our credit. I think, Bruno Fernandes, yes, he scored the goal, but he didn't really have a lot of other chances apart from that. I think that we in general terms, I think we kept Man United quite at bay, quite well, considering the fact that they're in such an amazing form at the moment. And I think so. I think we did really well in that situation, and also I think it was important that we didn't let our heads drop. We didn't, after the goal went in, we didn't lose our confidence. We kept going. And of course, we had that goal at the end, 90 plus 1 minutes from Michael Elise. Now, there were some people on Twitter who were saying that he wasn't doing very well. I thought he was doing okay. I mean, he was tracking back. He was trying to get stuck in. I don't think he's a natural defender. He's not one of those people who naturally get stuck in and tracks back, all the time. So I think, it's just one of those things where, he's not necessarily a natural defender. But that free kick was absolutely sublime. I mean, there was no way David De Gea was going to be saving that one. It was just clipped over the top, hit the underside of the crossbar and went in. Absolutely fantastic goal. And I think well deserved that we got a point each on that. I think that, absolutely deserved. We would have been robbed if we'd have gone out 1-0 down on that game. So everything, in my opinion, was a lot better. I think it was a very good performance. Hopefully now we can take that into the next game. Will Patrick Vieira keep to this system now he knows it's working, or will he be tempted to go back to the other system and maybe see if that works? Was this just a one-time deal for the Man United game? We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it isn't. Hopefully this is now the start of perhaps Patrick Vieira thinking, well, if this system is working, maybe we'll stick to this. We'll have to wait and see for the game against Newcastle. But let's see. Let's go into the chat, see what people are saying. Joe Spiteri, I do apologise if I say anybody's names wrong. Joe Spiteri, Chris Richards was really good. Yeah, he was. That was fantastic. Just wished we used Eze more. Yeah, Eze came on and I thought he was okay. A couple of games, for the last couple of games, he hasn't quite. I mean, it might just be my opinion. He hasn't quite been himself. Maybe he's been trying to tackle back and track back too much. Maybe he hasn't had the freedom to move forward as much as he wanted to and do those little tricks and things like that. Hasn't quite been on as much of his game as he has for the previous few games. But let me know if you think that's true or not. Ricky Down Under, amazing how some of the things discussed in our last chat eventuated. Richards in, Hughes and Decore in the middle, and then a striker in the box, Mateta. Well, yes, absolutely. I'd love to think that Patrick Vieira watches my channel, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't. And I'm pretty sure even if he did, he wouldn't take my advice. But it was great that those things came out, and hopefully it will mean that he'll see this performance and think, well, actually, this could be the way we go forward. And hopefully it will be, because I think that, if we'd have played one of the lower teams, if we'd have played one of the teams further down the table, I think we would have won that game quite comfortably. The way that we were playing, the way we were chasing, to get that kind of result against a flying Man United is, I think, very good. So there's a lot of positives to take from that game, absolutely. Okay, hey there bro, what's up? Thank you very much. That's Seek One. I think that's Seek One. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's my second live stream, so hopefully everything is going okay your end and you can hear me and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Dan Emmanuel, spot on with everything yesterday. Hughes and Richards were class. Yes, they were. They were absolutely fantastic. Hughes, a couple of times he misplaced the ball, and you could see he was getting frustrated with it. He was, thumping in the air and stuff like that. You could see that a couple of times his pass didn't come off, and he got a bit frustrated. But he worked incredibly hard. The numbers of time, 2 or 3 times he intercepted a pass. He was throwing himself in front of players when they were taking shots. He really worked incredibly hard, and I think if Patrick Vieira keeps that duel in the middle of Decore and Hughes, I think we're going to be a lot more solid. And I think hopefully we'll be able to cement a bit more of our impact on the game, and hopefully we'll have more of an opportunity then to go forward and score goals. Because it's always difficult if you're in a position where you're going forward, but then you might be worried about going back because you've only got Decore in there. So hopefully this will give them more confidence as well, saying we can go forward, we can create chances, because we know that Hughes and Decore are in the middle, and they're going to be able to deal with pretty much everything that comes through. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that front. Ricky Down Under, any news on players we may get in? Windows closed soon. I heard today that Ings has gone to West Ham, or if it's not done already, it's a very close to being done deal. I know we were trying to get Danny Ings. Looks like he's going to West Ham now. I haven't heard anything else concrete in terms of other players coming in, which is a bit of a concern, because like you said, the window's closing soon. I haven't heard anything else as yet, but yeah, it's a shame about Danny Ings. I think he would have been a good addition, but we'll have to wait and see what else comes down the pipeline on that. Danny Manuel, Spotter. Oh no, I've said that one already. Joe Spiteri, do you think we need Gallagher back? I think it wouldn't be bad, if we got Hughes. If we got Gallagher back, if by some means we got him back, then I wouldn't say no, obviously, because I think he's a very good player. I don't think it's going to happen because I think that he's currently having a kind of a good time at Chelsea at the moment, and I think that if Graham Potter stays, which you never know, he might not, but if Graham Potter stays, I think he's got more faith in Gallagher than previous managers have. So I think all the while he's being played, I don't think Gallagher's going to be wanting to go anywhere. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, if there was an opportunity to get him back, then I would certainly say we should, because the energy that he brings to the midfield, and it'll be good competition, with him and Hughes in the middle, and Doucouré, that would be good competition for places. So yeah, I think that would be great. Daniel Manuel, everyone's saying we need a centre midfield. Well, there he is in Hughes. Absolutely, absolutely. And I've always thought Hughes was a good player. Sometimes he can get a little bit, too enthusiastic in the tackles. I mean, he picked up a yellow card yesterday, but I think when you're in that kind of situation, him and Doucouré, you're going to pick up yellow cards occasionally because you're in the thick of it, and your job is to stop the opposition. So you're going to pick up yellow cards here and there. It's just an occupational hazard, I think, at times. So, but yeah, I mean, I think he is the man in the middle. I think he really is. I think he's a great replacement for MacArthur. Or even Kouyaté, who was in the middle. I think both of them, him and Doucouré, really worked well yesterday. I really enjoyed seeing them. Will Hughes was brilliant last game. I'm not worrying about him playing next game. That was sick. Yeah, I mean, he'll play the next game, I think. I think he will play the next game. I think Richards will play the next game. Obviously, Anderson will still be out, and I think that he will get... I think that he'll get the nod again because he played outstanding. I mean, Richards, chasing the ball back from over halfway back down the pitch and get that last ditch tackle in. I mean, he really, really did incredibly well. Absolutely fantastic. Danny Manuel, any rumour in Scott McTominay? I heard a little whisper. I heard something about it, but it didn't seem to be anything that I would say is kind of beyond just a very small rumour. Sometimes I do talk about things that are rumours and they don't happen, obviously, but it depends. I tend to read through it and see what happens. If it's just a journalist saying, I think they should go for him or something like that, then I don't tend to talk about it because that's just a journalist's opinion. So I haven't heard anything concrete, but if I do, then of course we'll do a video on it. Seek 1, Gallagher don't want to come back to Palace, and we just have to accept and let go of trying to get him. Well, yeah, I do think he won't come back. And I think that I know I did a video on the fact that they're saying they might do a last ditch attempt. I don't think it's going to work. I think he's playing at Chelsea now, and I think he's going to be quite happy playing at Chelsea. I don't think he's going to want to come back. And if he did ever go anywhere, I think he probably would come to Palace, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Okay, what else do we have here? Joe Spiteri, I think we need a right back as both of ours are getting old now. Maybe Richards can play there in the future. Yes, I think there's a possibility. I'm not sure whether he can play right back. I'm not sure. I think that he's probably better in central midfield, which is a bit of a worry for me when Anderson becomes fit again. Whether he will lose his spot and then sit on the bench again. I hope he doesn't. I'm not entirely sure. I guess if you're thinking, yeah, I mean the right back is going to be a problem area for us. Obviously, you've got Klein and Ward, both getting older. I guess Patrick Vieira might try him in training to see how he does at right back. He might be one of those who can adapt his game to come in at right back. I don't think there's necessarily a big problem with it. He's quite fast, so I think getting down the flanks wouldn't necessarily be a problem for him. So I think that I think he would be good at right back if he can adapt his game to right back. He certainly played well in centre back yesterday. Seek, you're right, Steve Richards was really fast. He was. I was absolutely amazed how fast he was. And not only that he kept up with the guy, but also that he managed to get that tackle in was fantastic. He really pleased with him. Bowie is our target, it seems. Yeah, I've heard about that. Sacha Bowie, if the price is right, from 3 Ronin. Yeah, I think we're going to be. I'm not entirely sure we're going to be able to. Well, I think we'll be able to afford him, but I don't think we're necessarily going to pay the price for him. I think that we might be looking for too much of a bargain for Sacha Bowie, but we'll have to wait and see. Saw Galatasaray were interested in Mateta. Don't know if that's credible. Possible. I haven't heard anything about that myself. Mateta for me, I mean, yeah, Mateta for me is a good hold-up guy. he tends to hold up the ball okay. He didn't do so well yesterday, but generally he tends to hold up the ball quite well. And I think that if we're going to get a good striker, which I think we need to do, then I think maybe he might be the one that goes. I think Edouard is looks a bit sharper for me in front of goal than Mateta does. So I think if one of if we have to get rid of one of them, I think it might be Mateta that goes. So we'll have to wait and see. Dean O'Hara, hi Dean. My son, who works at the training ground, says there's talk of Pat getting someone from Arsenal, but nothing concrete. So who knows? Well, yes, I mean that is a possibility. Hopefully, it'll be it'll be good to get somebody in for the January transfer window. It would be great to have some additional help. I think we have got a team there. We've got a very good team, and the team we saw yesterday was playing really well. But of course, it depends on whether we have the strength in depth. We need, I think, a bit more strength up front. I think we've got good players up front, but we need someone who can score goals regularly. And I think that's good. I mean, the midfield. I mean, if you put Hughes in there with Decore and you have Elise and Zaha or Eze and Zaha, I think that's good midfield. I really do. I think that is a very good midfield. Our backline is pretty good. I think it's only really our strikers that are letting us down a little bit. Yes, we are scoring goals here and there, but not quite as much as I would hope or would like us to. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. Mateta, seek one. Mateta is going. Maybe we can get Bowie. Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If that rumour is true about Mateta going to Galatasaray, then I think it's a good idea. I think that Bowie could be a good solution for that. But it depends on our budget. We don't seem to be. Well, Stephen Parrish, as I said in the last live stream, doesn't seem to be very enthusiastic about the January transfer window. So I don't think anything is going to happen myself. But who knows? Ricky Down Under. Are there any young players you guys know can be promoted? I think some young blood rather than Tompkins, Luca and Ward. Yeah, I mean, I think, what's his name? Kofi Barmer? Is it Barmer? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's Kofi Barmer. I mean, he's looked good. I mean, he came up from the Irish leagues and he looks good. I think that there's, he's certainly one of the talented ones in the youth team. We've got a lot of talented youth team players. I know that we've got a few going up at the moment, but it's going to be difficult to bed. I think something like the defence area is going to be difficult to try and get them in enough games. I think maybe if they do that, they should try maybe alternating, maybe half a game, maybe the first half with Ward or Klein in the second half or something like that. Or if there's a game that we're winning by a couple of goals, then bring them on for a bit of experience. I think that might happen. But Crystal Palace seem to be keen on sending them on loan for a season or so before they put them in the first team. So hopefully we can get a couple of our defenders or our centre backs or right backs out on loan for a season and give them a bit more experience, and then they can come in. But yeah, I think there are certainly some players in our youth team who could do the job. Absolutely. I really don't think this is Dan Emanuel. I really don't think we'll get anyone, if I'm honest. Vieira is a class manager and needs to be backed, but I think Vieira will get the best out of the bunch we have. Plus, all the ownership is up in the air. Yeah, I think Vieira will. I think I was a bit concerned. Like we talked about in the last live stream. I was a bit concerned that he wasn't going to be changing his system. That he was going to be like, no, this system works. We're going to stick to this system. But he changed it yesterday, and it worked. And so I think that's a good sign. The fact that he's prepared to change things, prepared to put people in, prepared to give things a try. I think that's a sign that he's willing to learn and willing to adapt to the situation at hand, and I think that's a positive thing. I really do. So yeah, I'm really hoping that he's going to learn from this game yesterday. He was singing Richard's praises, so I think he'll play in the game against Newcastle, and I think I think Hughes will as well. So yeah, I'm really positive by that. I think he is a good manager, and I think he's shown that when things start to go a bit tough, that he's willing to adapt, which is fantastic. Seek one. To get a striker, it's going to cost us 30 to 40 million. To get a good one, yeah. To get a striker who's prolific, absolutely. And I don't really think we're going to be spending that kind of money. Certainly not in the January transfer window. Maybe not even in the summer. I'm not entirely sure we're going to be doing that. We might get an older striker, like a Danny Ings or something like that. We might get someone like that to come in temporarily. But hey, we've got players. We've got youth players who can score goals for fun. So next season, maybe one of those will come back off loan and they'll go in or come in gradually into the first team. So you know, we've got options there. I just think we need to be. I think we just need to have a look. Maybe get somebody in who's slightly older, like a Danny Ings, just to get us goals while we bring some of these young strikers through, or these young players who can score goals. Dino Hara, he said a couple maybe in the program last night. Yeah, he did. He did. Um, Anything less than 2 good loans signings in the shambles, considering the work still needed in the summer. Anything less than 2 good loans or signings is a shambles, considering the work still needed in the summer. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen though. I really don't think. I think we maybe will get one loan, but I don't think we're going to be buying anyone. I really don't. I can't see it happening in the January transfer window. In the summer, yeah, you're right. We've got loads of players that are going to be out of contract. Whether they decide to extend them or not, I don't know. But if they don't, then we're going to need to bring people in to replace them, because we are quite thin on the ground as it is. So yeah, we're going to need to buy in the summer if we get rid of any of those that are currently on the end of their contract. So yeah, I think I would love to see a couple of players come in this window, but I would be surprised if more than one comes in, to be honest. Um, Buddha Boy, hello there. Give the video a like, guys. Palace content should be encouraged. Oh, thank you, Buddha Boy. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, you know, I'm really close. I'm 983 subscribers now. Really close to that magic 1,000, which I was trying to get to at the end of the season, end of last year. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a great time doing these live streams as well now. More enjoyment than I thought I was going to get out of them. So yeah, fantastic. And you know, as I say, I really do appreciate all of you guys that are supporting the channel. It really does mean a huge amount. So thank you for that. Seek One, Vieira knows what he's doing, and I trust my manager a lot. And I trust that once he has the type of players he can do the work, I have a good feeling we'll make it into Europe. Well, that is a bold statement. That is a bold statement. I think that you are possibly true. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to take a couple of seasons. If it happens, I think it's going to take a couple of seasons. I think we're going to need to buy good players. I think Vieira knows who he wants. I think he knows the types of players that he wants to get in. I think he knows the system he wants to play, but it's gonna take time. So like I said in the last live stream, I was expecting us to have this season last season, but we had a better season last season. So it's going to take time. You know, it's a rebuilding thing, and like I said, a lot more players are going to be out of contract in the summer. It's going to be another big change. So it's going to take time, another couple of seasons, I think, before we start to progress above mid-table, in my opinion. But after last season, I mean, you never know. And we had such a fantastic start that you can never tell. And yeah, it's going to be great to see. Well, we've got Man United to play again in a little while, so it's going to be difficult to see what's going to happen there. Maybe I'm sure Eric Ten Hag is going to have his own tactics changed for that. So to see if they can beat us when we go to their place, it's going to be an interesting game, because you know, he's got a couple of players out now through suspension, so it could be a more interesting game for us. And we'll have to wait and see who we can get. See what we can get from that. And of course, Newcastle are going to be a very tough team to play. They're very physical, very strong. It's going to be a very tough game. But I'm hoping that if we play the way we played yesterday, and if we play with the type of personnel we did yesterday, I'm hopeful we can get a result there. I really am, I have to say. Seek 120 million could give us decent players. Yeah. I don't know whether we're going to have 120 million. Obviously, the stadium is the new stadium, the new stand is now coming online, and it also depends on where that money is going to come from. I mean, as I said in the last live stream, has John Textor got the money to give us 120 million, or any kind of millions? You know, we have to wait and see if he's going to have the funds to do it, or if any of the other shareholders have got funds to put towards another rebuild in the summer. I think we're going to need another rebuild in the summer, but whether that happens or not, I do not know. Dan Emmanuel, another rebuild. Oh, sorry, Ricky Leonard, I missed your comment. Sorry. Hey, for the live streams, are you advertising them in advance? I'm overseas supporters. It's 9:40 here in Nairobi. Yes, I'm not. I did talk about it in a video earlier today. I've not been doing a lot of advertising about it, but I will start to do that. I'm trying to think about the right time, because I know that some of you guys are overseas and stuff like that. So I'm trying to fit it into a time where the UK guys and guys from overseas can both see it live. So I'm just looking to see what the best time is to fit it in. So yeah, I'm going to perhaps do more advertising in advance, maybe doing at the moment I'm doing about an hour in advance. I'm advertising it, but I was going to start to do a couple more hours in time to see that, see if we can get a good timing for everyone that works out for everyone. So that's fantastic. Thank you for that. Yes. So look, what else have we got going on here? Daniel Manuel, another rebuild in the summer and mid-table next season. Yeah, I think that's possible. I think that we're more than capable of staying at mid-table. If we get a good run, maybe even higher than that. I don't think there's any reason why we can't, because we've got the talent there, and I think if we buy a few players in the summer, then yeah, absolutely, I think we've got the team to do that. Um, Rolf, yo to you too. Danny Manuel was watching a podcast last night back of the best. Why not try Anderson in midfield with Doucouré? Nuts idea, but the guy can pass and tackle. That is an interesting idea, and you're right, he can pass and tackle. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a possibility. We have to wait and see what happens. I mean, it might be, if we get down to bare bones, that Patrick Vieira might have to do that. But yeah, Anderson in midfield with Doucouré, that would certainly be a good team up, and then you could have Richards in the back. Maybe that would be quite a good formation as well. So yeah, that is a possibility, absolutely a possibility. Right, I'm just trying to see if any other comments coming in. Don't think there are any more at the moment. So how long have we been going now? About half an hour. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and then I'm going to call it a day. See what's going on. Seek one. Anytime will work with me. I'm from Jamaica. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, as I said, I'm going to try and sort out the timings for this. It'd probably be some time around this time of day. Maybe an hour earlier, or maybe something like that. But it's just to try and get as many people to be able to participate as possible, because obviously, it's an opportunity for us all to have a chat about what's going on without me just replying to comments. It's better that that we can have a good chat online about things like that. Let's have a look. Rolfulf, give Vieira 4 years and he will win us a trophy. I wouldn't bet against that. I really wouldn't bet against that. He's got some good ideas, and like I said just now, he's willing to adapt. I wasn't sure if he would be able to, or if he would want to, but he does seem to be able to want to adapt and change things when they're not working. So full credit to him. I think yeah, a few more years and we could well be challenging for a trophy. I mean, we got pretty close in the FA Cup last season, so I think absolutely, there's no reason why not. Kehinde Gisananin, I do apologise. I'm terrible with names. I really do apologise. Why do Crystal Palace own look at players and don't buy them? Don't the owner have money? Why do Crystal Palace own look at players and don't buy them, or don't the owner have money? We've never been the kind of club really that slashed the cash on players. We've always been very well, certainly for a long time now, we've been quite careful in terms of money and how we've spent them on players. I think that's how it's going to be. I think we're going to be one of those clubs that's going to be very very careful in the transfer market, looking to get the best deals. I mean, we've done very well in the past, getting some very good players in, and I think Steve Parish wants us to start bringing our own players through again, which we had a fantastic time with before. So yeah, I think that he's looking to bring players in from the youth team and kind of give us an internal way of renewing our team without having to rely on the transfer market, which would be fantastic. And there's so many great players coming through that yeah, I think it's a great way to do it. But yeah, we do have the money, which I think we're just very careful with it, if you know. So I know what I mean. What's the time zone over there? Because mine's 1:42. Here it is. If I can find my clock. Where is it going? No, where is my clock? I don't know where it is now. So I think it's up here. It is 6:43 here, so it's 6:43 p.m. here. So you are 1:42 p.m. So that's about right, I suppose. If you're happy with this time of day, then I guess we could schedule it around this particular time of day and see how it works out. And that would be fantastic. Kahinde, great draw. Yesterday, and hope we can get a result on Saturday against Newcastle. Yeah, me too. I really hope we can. I think if we have as I said before, similar setup and similar players, I think we can certainly give Newcastle a run for their money. It's going to be a very physical game, so hopefully it's not going to be something that's going to cause too many injuries, because I know they are a very physical team and do like to impose their strength on the team. So I'm hoping that we come out of it unscathed, but I think we can get something out of the game. I think if we played like we did yesterday, I think we can. I think we can get something out of the game. Sigwan, Steve, we we ought to invest in the squad in spread depths for next season. I think the youngsters aren't ready yet. Yeah, I don't think some of them are ready yet. I agree with you there. I think we do need to invest in the squad in the first team. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to happen. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be huge investing in the first team. I reckon we're going to try and get bargains, loan deals, stuff like that. That's the way we've tried to do it in the past. Maybe there are one or two if we think they're really worth a punt, but I think in general terms, I think we're going to be trying to get the best deal we can in the near future until we can get some of our youth teams through. I think that just seems to be the way they're running it at the moment. See, let's have a look. Kehinde, are they saving the money for the new stand, and was the latest on the new stand? Right, well, I think they are saying, I did hear they said the money was there for the new stand, but then I read somewhere else that they're looking to get the money together, so I'm not entirely sure how that works. But yeah, they've had the agreement to build the new stand, and I think they're currently just crossing the T's and dotting the I's on the deal with Sainsbury's to get their piece of land so that they can start building. And also, I think they've also got to arrange for the tenants of the houses they're buying to move out, and I think they get a certain amount of time that they get to move out of their houses before they get demolished for the new stand and stuff like that. So it's still in progression. I think probably in the next season or two we're going to see work starting on it, which is good. I know there were a few alterations, but I think it's all going full steam ahead now. Consistency is the key in the battle against Newcastle. Yes, it is, and keeping our heads and also keeping focused. A couple of times we've lost a bit of focus, so if we can keep our heads and keep the focus, yeah, absolutely. I think that will be the key. Rolfoff, if Zaha goes, who would you choose to sign? I would like to get Kent or Sarr. Yeah, Sarr would be a good bet. Sarr would be a good bet. I think that if Zaha does go, then it's going to be a hole that we're going to have to fill, and it's not going to be an easy position to fill. In terms of someone who's like Zaha. But we've got some very creative players, and I think that maybe we're going to be able to to build on that. I mean, Ebiowi could well be the type of player who, if he can switch sides, he might be the one that we can bring in to have a go. But depending on whether he can switch sides or not, or if he stays on that side and one of the other wingers goes to the other side, then Ebiowi could be a good shout for a replacement for Zaha. We'll have to wait and see. Zaha will sign for another 2 seasons, so I'm not worried. Oh, I hope so. I hope he does. I hope he sees out his career at Crystal Palace. I really do. Whether he does or not, who knows? But I'm hoping he will, because it would be good if he can. Kahinde, what will you rate the owners 1 out of 10 if you think they have done well for the club? I think Steve Parish, I would give him a solid 9. I think that he's got the club back from the brink, and he's built a strong foundation. He's trying to rebuild the club. He's got a great youth team, training team going on now. Great training centre. He's building the stand. I think he's done really well. John Textor, I'm not entirely sure about him. I think he is committed, so he says, but he's certainly spreading himself a bit thin. So I'm worried about the future, whether he'll have the money to continue investing. He says he does, but we'll have to wait and see on that, I think. Let's have a look. Where else did we go? Hindi again. What made you support Palace? It's a family thing. My whole family supported Palace. My mum and dad used to go to Palace home and away games before they had kids, and all of our family have been raised in Croydon, born and raised in Croydon. So and then my dad started taking my brother when he was older, and then my brother started taking me when I was older, and it's just been a family thing really. So I've always supported it ever since I was a baby. So that's all about that. And so yeah, there's so many fantastic fans from around the world. It really is a fantastic club to support. Will Hughes is my man, says Palace Hunter. Yes, he is. He is a very good player, absolutely fantastic, and so passionate about the team as well, which is fantastic. Kahinda, what do you think about Chris Richards yesterday? I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was very, very good. I was a bit concerned, but I was quickly quickly happy about the way he was playing. He was playing incredibly well, very fast, and was doing some fantastic work at the back there. Yeah, I think he was really good. There was that obviously that questionable penalty thing, but that wasn't a penalty. I don't think that was absolutely fine. I don't think there was anything in that at all. So yeah, I think he did. I think he did very well indeed. Um, Steve Parish 9.5, Sig one. Yes, definitely 9.5. Who would you like to? Who would you like Palace to sign? Um, there are a couple of players who I think I would like them to get, but I don't think we're going to have the money for it, to be honest with you. There's the guy from Botafogo who they keep talking about coming over. He's supposed to be quite special, so we might be able to get him maybe on a loan deal. That would be quite good. John Textor apparently is keen on bringing him over, so that might be a good one. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple of players I would like to get, but I'm not entirely sure we'd have the money for them really. I mean, also who would you get? I mean, there was talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I don't think he's coming over now. He's doing well in Manchester United. Everyone that we seem to be linked with then starts playing well for their club, and then we don't get them. So it's one of those things. Minecraft Lives, hello Minecraft Lives. Well done, very good to see you here. If Zaha goes, we're relegated. He's that influential to us. He gives the fans a buzz. That's from Paul O'Donovan. I would love to say no, but he is a big influence on the team. He tends to be one of those who talks a lot, gets the team riled up, plays well if he can, and yeah, I mean, very often he's kicked off the park when he plays, which is difficult for us. But I think he's going to be, I, I kind of think he's going to go, and it will be a struggle for us if he goes. It will be, but I think that the time has come now where we've got to try and work without him because he's getting older. He's not going to be around forever, and even if he stays for a couple of seasons, we're going to need to find a way to play without him because in a couple of seasons he's not going to be here anyway. I don't think he's going to be retiring. So if Paris could do it all on his own, he would, because that guy has genuinely love for Palace, as far as I can see. Yeah, I think if he could do it on his own, he would. I think he needs the investment to help him, and hopefully he can get the right investment to do a good job for Palace. But yeah, I agree. I think he is a very big Palace fan, and I think he really does love the club. Minecraft Lives. Who is your favourite player? Um, I would say Zaha is a very close player for me. I think he's a very good player indeed. I really have a good good feeling about Doucouré. I've really enjoyed seeing him this season. So yeah, between Zaha and Doucouré, and of course Elise, fantastic player. But so there's a few in there. Let's have a look. Who else have we got? Could have been 3-1 if it wasn't for De Gea. Yes, that's from Louis Tidy. Absolutely, could well have been 3-1. If those two goals had gone in, yes, we could have finished the game off there well and truly. Man United might have started to get a bit desperate by that point, and then they might not be able to come back from it. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Um, Paul O'Donovan, Chris Richards was my player of the match last night, and we refused to. Yes, he was mine as well. They were both my players of the match. Absolutely outstanding. Zaha should get the captain. I think he's been captain a couple of times, as far as I'm aware, under Patrick Vieira, but I'm not sure. Um, I don't know why Patrick Vieira hasn't kept him as captain. Maybe he just feels that he's not, he wants to concentrate on his game more. I'm not sure, but yeah, he would be a good captain, definitely. Rolforth, unpopular opinion: Palace will win the Premier League inside the next 10 years. I, I would love us to win the Premier League in the next 10 years. That would be a dream come true if we could win the Premier League in the next 10 years. If we could win the FA Cup, oh, that would be a dream come true. It would be fantastic for us to go to Wembley and win the FA Cup or even the Carabao Cup. I'm not greedy, anything like that would be fantastic. Paul Donovan, Jordan Ayew is very poor. How's he playing? I don't know. I think I think that there is a I think there's a feeling that Vieira knows he does a certain job for them. He's very hard working. He holds up the ball fairly well. He gets in the tackles. And I think that's why Patrick Vieira plays him. He's not a goal scorer at the minute. He doesn't score goals very well anymore. But I think for his hold up play and his tenacity, I think that's why Vieira picks him, but I really don't. I think there are other options now. I really don't think that we need Jordan Ayew. Sad to say, but I really don't think we do anymore. Gavin, hello mate, hope you're well. When are they starting the new main stand? Hello Gavin, thank you very much. I am very well, hope you are too. Hopefully in the next couple of years, I think, and maybe even next year. I know they are just finalising everything and putting the funding in place and agreeing the deal with Sainsbury's. So if all goes well, hopefully in the next year, I would say, certainly in the next couple of years, I'll be looking for that to happen. Danny Manuel, hasn't John Textor put us on the American Stock Exchange? I haven't heard about that. I haven't heard about that. I'll have to wait. I have to. If you know where that came from, let me know. Send me a link or something so I can have a look at that. I haven't heard that he has, but yeah, it's interesting. So look, Brett Landridge. Hello, Brett. Doucouré has been solid, but it was his fault on the goal last night, and perhaps it was his fault on the Chelsea goal. He's still learning the pace of the league. Yes, he is. He is. I mean, you know, he's his first season in the Premier League. He's really hit the ground running. He's been fantastic, and you've got to forgive him the odd mistake here and there. I think he's been very good. Yeah, you know, he makes mistakes just like other players have in the team. So, but yeah, I think he's. It was certainly his mistake for the goal against Man United yesterday. But yeah, I'm not going to have a go at him because I think he's been fantastic for us. He really has. What else we got? Seek One. I know that one of these seasons we will get some silverware under this manager. I hope that he gets back. Yes, I think we will. Eventually, I think we've got to try and. I think we get so close sometimes, especially in the cup runs. I think we will eventually get a piece of silverware in that trophy cabinet. It'd be fantastic if we do. The ZDS Cup, you know, it's getting a bit dusty now. The old ZDS Cup. Just look. Paula Donovan. If Palace stay up, it's like winning the Champions League for them. Well, yeah, I think it is. I mean, you know, I always look at the points tally first to make sure we're safe, and then I can rest and relax. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. Absolutely, that's always the way it's been. You know, I've always looked to make sure we're safe first, and then go from there. So yeah, Gavin, thank you, mate. Yep, you're absolutely welcome. Kahinde, would you like to see the clock stop like the World Cup for time wasting? Yeah, I think if it's genuine time wasting, yeah, I would, because I think there are lots of teams who do play on it a lot, time wasting, and I know Palace have done it a couple of times in the past as well, but I think yeah, not perhaps not to the extent it was in the World Cup. I'm not talking about an extra 10 minutes or something like that, but you know, maybe a few extra seconds here or there, or 30 seconds for a bit of extra time wasting. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Certainly put off a few teams from doing it, I think, if they did. Seek One, I remember the day when we were a small club, and look at us now. I'm proud of us. Yes, so am I. We are building a very good club, a good foundation in the youth team, and we're building a very good team in the Premier League. So I think, yeah, I think we're now one of those teams where, you know, yes, obviously it's still a worry as a Palace fan of going down, but I think we're one of those teams now where we're not automatically worried about going down. You know, we have this feeling that we can survive in the Premier League. We can hold our own in the Premier League. Absolutely, absolutely. Richards and Hughes looked good out there. Elise coming up clutch for us again. That's from Luke. Yes. You know, Elise sometimes he looks almost bored out there. I know he's not, but sometimes he looks almost bored playing out there. And then he'll knock out a fantastic free kick like that, and it's just absolutely fantastic. That is something that's going to improve as he gets older. He's still really young, and I think as time goes on, he's going to be a real player to look out for. He really is doing well. Okay, what else have we got? Palace are easily staying up. Yes, they are. Mateta or Benteke. To be honest, Mateta have been average for the best for Palace, in my opinion, though. That's from Rolfoff. I would say Benteke gave us a bit of extra edge. He gave us an aerial threat that I don't think we have really at the moment now. That's what Benteke, I think, gave us predominantly. He gave us an aerial threat. He was really good with his head. So I missed that kind of thing, you know, putting the ball in the box, having him get it on the head of it, get on the end of it. I think that was more of a threat than Mateta or Edouard have, certainly at the moment. Seventh place is still attainable. Yes, it is. I think if we continue to play the way we are, then I think seventh place is attainable, and it would be fantastic season for us if we can manage that. Kahinde, do you think it is far from some team to have money and some not because of the rich owners in the league? Do I think it's fair? No, not really. I think that it's now all about getting the richest person you can to support your club to buy the players that you want to progress. I think it is a bit unfair. Newcastle now joined that group. You know, they've got huge funding behind them, and they've already shown that they're doing well this season. So I don't think it's necessarily very fair. I don't think it's going to change. I think that there's too many people involved to change it. I think it's going to stay the way it is. And I think, you know, unless we get a rich philanthropist who wants to splash his cash at Palace, then I think we're going to stay as we are. We're going to be one of those clubs that has to fight for survival in the Premier League, and I think that we can. I think we can. I think we can compete as well, because we can really do a good job if we really work hard. Um, Edouard needs to start more. That's from Evelyn McDonald. Hello, Evelyn. Yes, I think that Edouard needs to start more. I think he's better than Mateta at the moment. I would love to see him start a bit more. Whether Mateta and Edouard should play together, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I think Edouard certainly has a bit more sharpness about him. Certainly a bit more eye for goal than Mateta does at the moment. So yeah, I would agree with that, definitely. What time we got now? 46 minutes. I think that's it. I think I'm going to call it a day here because my battery is about to die. So before we get cut off, thank you for watching the live stream. I really appreciate all of your support, and I'm going to be doing another live stream at the end of the next game at Newcastle. I'm going to be doing another live stream. I'm hoping to do one of these after every game to do my match report. So and I'm going to probably be doing it about similar sort of time as well. So any more questions before we go? Edward, if the shoe was on the other foot and we had the dough, we would not grumble. No, you're absolutely right. We wouldn't. If Palace get to Europe, would you go to any away match or travel? I would do my very best. I would probably sell my car and everything I own to try and get to Palace in Europe. I really would. I would love that. See you, man. Thank you, Rolf. Yeah, thank you for the updates, my friend. You're welcome, Seek. See you, mate, Gavin. Yep, see you. And Ricky Down Under, great live stream, mate. Thanks. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. Or no, have a great week and weekend.